Hello, welcome guys to Final Whistle. It's our weekend podcast again, and I have Abdul and Edward to discuss whatever went on during the week and the weekends. And a lot of things happened this weekend. One is Man City losing to Castle, and then another is Liverpool losing to Norwich. I'll not waste any time. I'll go straight to Edward. Edward, during our first episode or second episode when we were predicting who you think will win the EPL. You tipped Man City to win the EPL. So I'm sure you'll be disappointed with their performance against Newcastle this weekend. What do you make of their performance against Newcastle? And what do you think Newcastle did to get away with those 3 points?
Thank you very much, guys. I predicted Man City to win the EPL when we started this whole thing, and I still believe they are still in the race. Okay, but looking at what the performance that they gave on Saturday, I feel they controlled the game, but the midfield was very fragile. Fragile in the sense that the three Newcastle midfield guys were bullying Man City midfield because they don't have strength. Okay, Man City have a good goalkeeper. He kept Man City in the game in the first half, even though Man City had a couple of chances, but he kept Man City in the game. And checking out the statistics, you could see that for big chances, Newcastle created 5, meaning they came in, sat deep, and made Man City control the game. But anytime they catch Man City on the counter, their midfield is always there's hole or there's spaces in the there are spaces in the midfield, so they can't catch up early. So I believe Pep has to go to the drawing board and also devise a way to stop or to win at St. James. I feel like they are not done yet. Arsenal, as I said yesterday, Arsenal, I'm yet to see them being consistent in December because the winter matches are very, very tough. Because they're playing, I think, Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea, yeah. So I still believe City will bounce back from this. And for Pep, I don't know why he started this guy, Bernardo Silva, as number 8. He should have gone to the flanks because you have a potential number 8 on the bench, Tijani Mendes. So he messed up everything, and I don't know if he plays the FP or something. I don't know why he keeps changing his lines. But all the same, nothing spoiled. We just wait for the December games and we'll see if Arsenal can have the tenacity and the zeal to maintain the lead. So that's what I can say.
Okay, thank you. Abdul, Man City were counting on winning against Newcastle, at least to make it second and power the pressure on Arsenal. Unfortunately, they went to St. James's Park, they didn't get the win. What do you make of the game? What did Guardiola do or did not do that came up with this performance or this result? Because you could tell after the game he was really frustrated.
Yes. In fact, like I say, sometimes as a coach, you do your best to come out with a very good tactical strategy, a very solid lineup, but the players don't show up. If you look at the game against between Newcastle and Man City, Man City players just didn't turn up. We don't know whether it was because of the international break, and they looked out of shape. They were lethargic. They were not reacting. They were not too aggressive. Okay, and for me, the only reason I could give right now is just because we are coming off the international break. So it's just a blip. Ordinarily, Man City should win this game. So I don't want to be too hard on tactics. It was just the players not showing up, and Newcastle showed more hunger, more desire, more aggression, and that's why they carried the day for me.
Okay, Bernard, before you came, we were discussing Newcastle, Man City. I think during the prediction, you predicted Man City to win this game.
Yeah, because
I'm sure you are disappointed at the performance. What could be the reason why Man City came out losing this game?
Yeah, so thank you guys. So I was thinking Man City will win to continue their winning streak, right? So I was shocked with their performance. And Newcastle had the game. They even had more opportunities. Like they could have scored like 4 or 3 goals. They had a lot of chances. So
Yeah.
I think Newcastle now St. James Park is very tough for teams to just go there and dominate. It's very tough. So I was surprised. I don't even know. Like, is it because of the international break or what? But I think Man City needs to like come back.
Eben, Opon, if you're talking about the international break, are you gonna blame the international break, or you still gonna blame? Because Edward was talking about player selection. So is it the international break or is player selection? Because I don't know why Tijani was on the bench. He should have started this game because he's also physical and he has the energy to run up and down. And he was on the bench. As to why he was on the bench, I don't know. But I still believe the likes of Tijani should have started this game. Mamouche was on the bench. The energy was there. Because one thing about Newcastle that I know, they hate players that can take them on the run. If you take them on the run, they will end up fouling you more, and it will weaken their team because they will be having a yellow card. So will you blame this performance from Man City from the international break, or you're going to blame this on player selection? Maybe Guardiola just did one of his things thinking it will work and it didn't work for him.
I'll blame it on selection because
Mm-hmm.
Reinders is on form, and even his game in the Netherlands, they won, and he played well. So I think he should have been selected, and also Savino too. Savino, but why did he even play Bernardo Silva at 8,
Mm-hmm.
which is not his position?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes Guardiola is hard headed, right? He kind of makes some decisions like he's done on it, and sometimes it doesn't work for him. So because Reinders have been
Bernardo's
playing well since like the
yeah,
previously their games has
because
been playing well.
Bernardo Silva at that role against this tough Newcastle guys, it's not good. Because Bernardo Silva is not your type of guy that can box, who plays box to box. He uses more of the brain, pick passes, make the move and get the passes and make things happen. Against Newcastle, they are going to come close to you. So I didn't get the tactics behind that, but he knows better, and I think the likes of Edward can only go better for them because he still thinks Man City can do something. We cannot talk about Man City lost without talking about Liverpool. I think they've won one out of six. They've won one. Yeah, I don't know the this thing, but
Yeah,
Seven.
seven,
out of
seven.
7,
Yeah,
yeah.
out of seven, they won. Out of seven, they've lost six, and it's very bad. After what they did last season and bringing in all the players they brought in. For me, to be frank with you guys, I thought by now we the other teams will be fighting for top four. I thought Liverpool would have taken the show away from everyone by now, and then we'll all be fighting for top four. But it seems Liverpool is struggling. I was tipping United to struggle a bit, but Liverpool is struggling more than United, even though United still have to play. But Abdul, what do you make of Liverpool? What is the problem with Liverpool? That's what I would need to. What is the problem with Liverpool? Because I seem not to get what is wrong with the team. They have whatever they wanted to get. They brought in defenders, as in Kekes, they brought in Frimpong, they brought in attackers, they brought in Eketike, they brought in Isaac from Newcastle, and they boosted up the midfield with Florian Wirtz, and they're still having problems. So I don't know what the problem is. Abdul, can you help us with this question?
Liverpool has been one mystery a lot of pundits and sports analysts have not been able to unravel because you actually cannot tell where the problem is, okay, from the look of things. And a lot of the times it has been labeled on tactics. A lot of the times it has been blamed on the new signings not performing. And there are instances where one player that has faced the most criticism this season is Mo Salah. People are saying that Mo Salah is underperforming. But myself, I think I don't want to single any player because, in fact, the whole team is underperforming this season. The whole team is
Mm-hmm.
underperforming this season. When you look at from the defense, Van Dijk is making silly mistakes. It's not the rock at the back that we used to know, winning all challenges. Okay, when you come to the midfield, they just don't have it. They are not able to. They are not in sync. Okay, it's quite troubling, especially having invested so much in the new players and then they are also not performing. So, as a Liverpool fan, it will be very frustrating watching your team not performing after all this amount of investment in the team.
Edward, last season by this time, after 8 games, Liverpool has conceded only after 12 games, Liverpool has conceded only 8 goals. Now they are conceding 20 goals. Last season by this time, Liverpool had 31 points. Now they have only 18 points. What is the problem with Liverpool? We all know how much they invested in this squad, and they seem not to get it right.
Okay. So for Liverpool, I think they have four problems, major problems that they have to solve. Now, the first one is the defense. We all can clearly tell that Konate's head is in Real Madrid already. The guy is not playing well. He's not performing well this season. Secondly, is Kekes. I don't know what's wrong with Kekes. Kekes is the weakest link in this Liverpool's defense. Trust me. He will make runs. His crosses are poor, and his tackling are also poor, and he rush into tackles. So it makes any winger who is very skillful to exploit his space. Okay. Now the second one is the midfield. We all know that Slot used the same midfield to the same personnel to win the league last season. But I feel like McAllister, let me tackle McAllister. McAllister, because of the off-field issues, I think his wife gave birth and one or two things happened. Before that, he was playing well, but after he came back, his performance have been like below 50%. Now let's go to Gravenberch. Gravenberch is not playing the number 8 that he played last season. His game is all about goals now. He will go
And
forward.
I think he also suffered some injuries before this season started.
Oh, yeah, but when we resumed or when we started, I think 2 matches he scored 2 goals. So for him, when he goes forward, he doesn't track back. And mind you, McAllister too doesn't have pace. And one major problem is also playing Soboslai at number 2. Trust me, you can play Joe Gomez at number 2. But when you play Soboslai at number 8 or number 10, the guy is a workaholic. He can defend, he can tackle, and he can progress. He's a good progressor
I
of the
think
ball.
from the start yesterday, he was the only one even getting some shots on target.
Of course.
So if your number 2 can move from his position from the wing back to come forward to get shots on target with all those players you brought in, then you have a problem.
Yeah, so he has to revert to playing Szoboszlai at number 10. And also, the big one is he has to drop Salah. For me, he has to drop Salah for a game. Okay, I think he can play this guy. I've forgotten his name. Ekitike at Salah's position, play Gapo and Isak. We all know because of Isak's price tag, that's why he's starting. Fine. But you can clearly tell that Salah is not performing. This season he has been a disgrace. To me, he has been a disgrace because you can clear his connection with this guy. Isak is poor. He doesn't his assist that he normally used to do it is not even coming. And his shots are not even on target lately. So I feel like he has to give Salah a rest for him to reminisce and go through his game where he sees the red flag. You just rectify it and come back on the pitch and start banging. So I think Slot is doing well. I mean, starters are going, but I think the personnel and the positions that they are playing, is a little bit shaky. I saw the example with the Szoboszlai thing. When he changes and you bring in Joe Gomez has space. He can play the number 2 position. So I feel like he should do that and maybe he'll get some wins. I feel like Liverpool are not going to they are not going to stay down. They will come up, but if it doesn't change, he will find it very difficult to win games. Yeah.
Talking about Liverpool changing, Abdul mentioned Van Dijk earlier on. He came out to say the players are letting Slot down. Abdul, so the question is, are the players letting Slot down or Slot is letting himself down?
I'm going to put a lot of the blame on the manager because it is up to you to assemble what will work for you. Left for me, I think that a lot of the old players, okay, have overachieved in terms of football. A lot of them have actualized. So there's no motivation, there's no zeal to push. If I were Arne Slot, I'll start trusting my signings, okay, my new signings, and try and transition the team to move away from the likes of Van Dijk, Mo Salah, and
But
what have you.
Abdul, the thing is, all the new signing he brought in, he's playing them. He's playing Isaac if he's fit, Frimpong if he's fit. Kekes is always playing. The only guy you could say he's not really getting playing time is Ekitike.
Yes, that's a very good point. But it will take time for the new team or the new players to gel. If you start, for instance, Isaac started the match against Forest, okay, but he's not started the past 2 or 3 matches because he's physically not up there and he's not had good preseason. So in terms of fitness, he's still trying to manage some game time. But the point I'm making is that if you start your new signings, okay, you trust the quality you bought and it is not working, it could be that they are still struggling to adapt to the league. So you need to give them more game time and stop changing. Like, you'll find players playing 2, 3 different positions across like 4 games. It's not good. For me, I would define the role I want each player to play, assign them to that role, and test it across 2 to 3 games and see if there's improvement. Because trust me, Liverpool is in crisis. And when you're in crisis, you need to take a step back, trust the process. You start small, correcting your mistakes game by game. It doesn't matter if they've lost about 4 games out of 5, okay, out of 5 games. You can take that to correct your mistake other than just throwing points just like that. If you are losing and you are correcting your mistake, at least you know that eventually your tactics and your players are going to be in sync and then you get the desired result. But here's the case where you keep switching roles for same players and you can clearly tell that it's not working. So I think he should define what he wants to do, define rules for their players, and then test them across games. And yes, eventually it will work for him.
Abdul says you can clearly see it's not working for Slot, and we can all tell it's not working. I'm going to ask you this question. If you were Slot, you spoke about Joe Gomez. That's why it's leading to this question. Are you going to take Soboslai to the middle, bring in Joe Gomez, have your solid defenders? So if you were Slot now, are you going to start by saying, yeah, we were the champ, yeah, and we are still the reigning champions. But as at now, we are not playing like champions. So what we can do now is let's stop goals from going in. Then we can now build forward. Or you're still going to believe you are champions. You're going to go into every game fighting hard. If you were Slot, how are you going to approach this situation? Because it's clear that the man has never been in this situation. He's been in this kind of situation back in Feyenoord. But Feyenoord is not Liverpool. Liverpool is one of the biggest clubs in the EPL or in the world. And if you come in, it comes with a lot of pressure. Even when you are winning games and you are not playing well, it comes with a lot of pressure. And now you are losing games. You are not winning games. You lose games very poorly. So if you were Slot, how are you going to approach this situation?
Okay, thank you. It has to do with the change in personnel. As I said earlier, I'll first start with the attack. I'll come to the defense, but I'll start with the attack. So if I was Slot, I'll bring in Ekitike, and let's say I'll try a 4-4-2 formation. Okay, so I'll bring in Ekitike and I'll drop Salah. Okay, so Ekitike and Isak forward. That's the two number 9 and 10s. Then I'll come to the midfield. For the midfield, I'll play Gapo, McAllister, Gavin Betch, and this guy, I've forgotten his name.
Curtis.
Not Kekes. Now, Kekes is not going to start in my team.
Curtis Jones.
Curtis Jones.
Yeah.
Curtis Jones is a progressor. He can hold on to the ball. He can play under pressure. Okay, so I'll bring Curtis Jones. Thank you very much. Then for the defense, I'll bring in Robertson, because when Robertson played the Real Madrid game, you clearly saw the difference between Robertson and Kekes. So Kekes to the bench. Van Dijk will maintain his position. Konato will maintain his position. Then I'll bring in Joe Gomez.
Okay.
Solid. Because right now, the 4-3-3 is not working. We play 4-3-3, but we had certain players, Luis Diaz, Diego Jota, they can come in, conjure some magic and they will score. Okay, so we don't have them again. So I'll just sit back and do the 4-4-2-10, and I hope it's going to work, because Salah will come from the bench. People will be tired and we'll just run. Okay, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay,
so
Abdul, I'm coming to you with this. Mo Salah. Everyone seems to think Mo Salah is the problem. For me, what I would say is, when everything was working, when everything was in place, Mo Salah was never the problem, because Mo Salah never tracked back.
Yeah.
Mo Salah never used to. Mo Salah never used to do the hard job. Mo Salah stands there. He gets the passes from the likes of Diego Jota, Nunes, and Trent to provide his goals. Everyone is blaming Mo Salah now. Abdul, do you think Mo Salah is the problem, or Mo Salah is part of the problem Liverpool is facing now?
In fact, I stand to be corrected, but even in
Abdul, I'll come with you. I think you have a problem. Kindly go off and come back again. Edward, let's go to the Mo Salah issue. Do you still think Mo Salah is the problem? Because Mo Salah used not to track back. He used not to. His contribution was just more or less like Helen Haaland. The ball gets to him, makes the magic happen. And the kind of players that used to play with Mo Salah to make the magic happen, the likes of Trent, he used to get a lot of passes from Trent. A lot of assists came from him, and now he's not having those guys. Do you think Mo Salah is part of the Liverpool problem, or the Liverpool problem is bigger than Mo Salah? It's a whole team problem.
It's a whole team problem, but I think Mo Salah constitutes 60% of it. Okay, Abdul was saying that Mo Salah is more of a goal scorer than a creator, but I think is wrong. Even in his worst season, that was last season, he scored I think 29 goals. Okay, he had an expected goal of 25.37, scoring frequency of 116 minutes. Goals per game was 0.8, shots per game 3.4, shots on target 1.6, big chances missed. And I want to get to the assist because I think his goals and assists per game was more than 30 or something like that. So he also give assists. But for now, I think he has lost his touch. Okay. And the runs that you normally do when they hit you on the counter is not on point this season. And also, I feel like he's not getting the services he normally gets from this guy, Robertson and Trent, because Trent is not there. Okay. And sometimes when you get to the final third, you could see that that the ideas are lost or something. I don't know what he tries to do because he feels like he's the Mo Salah of yesterday. Okay, we try and take on a defender. A typical one was he against O'Reilly. He tried to dribble the guy, but he couldn't. So I feel like he should just go back to the bench, watch some games of himself this season so that he can rectify one or two things. If he's not going to do a one-on-one dribbling or if he's not going to score, he should just give assist. Okay, he's known to give assist to Diogo Jota, to Gakpo, to Darwin Nunes, and Luis Diaz. So I think he should just revert back to it. And the 40% is the team selection. The team selection. And Slot is getting some positions wrong. First, as I said, I will expand on this. Soboslai is not a number two. He's very effective at an attacking position or number eight. Clubs sometimes use him as number eight. So Soboslai is not a makeshift number two. And I think Keke should be on the bench. Keke should be on the bench so that he can steady this guy, Robertson, because he's too rash. The guy is too rash. So I believe if he's able to tweak these two positions and bring in the right personnel, Liverpool are going to find their feet and enter into the top four. Trust me.
Okay.
But
Okay.
as a
Thank you.
United fan, I don't want him to do it now.
Oh,
As a United
yeah,
fan, I don't.
Abdul, quickly touch on the Mo Salah issue and we move forward. Do
Right.
you think Mo Salah is the problem at Liverpool or the whole problem is more than Mo Salah?
No. The problem is clearly bigger than Mo Salah. Like I was saying, Mo Salah is more of a finisher. You don't see him in a game till he makes an assist or score a goal. Mo Salah is not the guy that would, of course, he takes on defenders occasionally, but he uses more his pace in finishing goals or giving assists. Okay, in fact, it's more of even scoring. And in the past, there are games where you don't see Mo Salah till maybe he gets a penalty, he scores, or someone sets him up and then he scores a goal. So if a team is struggling to create chances and you don't see Mo Salah, for me, it is not new. So I think they have enough quality. So like I think I would agree with what Edward is saying that Mo Salah he should start from the bench, okay, till the team comes back to their winning ways because they have enough wingers that can take on defenders, create more chances, and make more magic happen. And I think that is what Liverpool needs now. They need more of the magic.
Okay, Mo Salah sitting on the bench.
Let me chip in this one. So the assists Mo Salah made last season was 18 assists.
Mm-hmm.
18 assists and goals was 29. So you
Mm-hmm.
can imagine how he was.
He
Big
was
chances created
contributing.
was
If he's not scoring, he was contributing to the
yes.
success of
Yeah.
the team.
Big
And it's
chances
clearly
created
gone
was
off this season.
27. Big
So,
chances
so can
created
you
was
say that?
27.
Can you say that yes, if he was contributing to goals last season, and this season, we know what is happening up front for Liverpool. Can you say that he's still whipping in those passes, but the goals are not just coming? Can we
They
also
are
agree
missing.
that way?
Yeah, they are missing chances. It's not all about Mo Salah whipping in the crosses. Mo Salah is rather dragging them back. Trust me, it is rather delaying attacks. I used the one-on-one with O'Reilly against
And I think I'm not trying to. I think you are right. Mo Salah should
yeah,
understand he's aging, so there are certain
of
things
course,
he needs to quicken it up.
yeah,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that being said, we cannot talk about Liverpool, Man City without talking about Sean Dyche's Nottingham Forest. I think they've done very well ever since Sean Dyche joined the team. I didn't see them performing this well. They drew against United. Yeah, they drew against United, and they've started winning games. Drawing against United, I thought United didn't do well, but after seeing them do what they did in their past three games, I think they are playing well. They drew against United. They went to Europe, drew. They beat Leeds at home, and they are now beating Liverpool at home, 3-0 at home. We know Liverpool is poor, but we cannot take anything away from Nottingham Forest because you need to show up to win the game. And they showed up. They played with courage at Anfield, and they won the game. What Abdul, what do you make of Sean Dyche's take over in Nottingham Forest?
Right. In fact, a lot of teams struggling this season can take a cue from what Nottingham is doing. The personnel has not really changed. The only thing that has changed now is the manager.
The tactics.
What the manager has brought to the table now is to first organize the team, stabilize the team. They are not really pushing creativity, but you could tell that once everything is stabilized and everything is organized, the chances are coming and then they're taking their chances. So like I said, I don't expect Sean Dyche to be a manager that will take them to the top level, but they are what they need now in terms of organization and stability, and it's giving them results. So yeah, thumbs up to Sean Dyche for that. In fact, it has become his tagline, or he's known for that.
Whenever there's chaos, he comes to stabilize the place.
He's living up to his name. And maybe Liverpool should sign some short-term contract with Sean Dyche to come and help stabilize things, and then he will hand over to Arne Slot to continue.
Thank you. Bernard, you are back. We were just talking about Liverpool and how poor they were against Nottingham Forest. We cannot talk about Liverpool without praising Nottingham Forest. Yeah, Liverpool is poor, but Nottingham Forest put in the work. They put in the work. They fought hard, especially at Anfield. Bernard, what do you have to say about Sean Dyche? I think you were very critical about them. You tipped them to go for relegation, but it looks like they wouldn't go. They are coming up high. What do you
Yeah.
think about what do you make of Sean Dyche's return or taking over Newcastle and what they've done so far after 5 games?
Well, I think they are kind of picking up a little bit now because in the last 3 games, he's gone like 7 points out of it, which is quite like it's surprising because their performance were very bad
Because
before he came.
not to cut, he drew to United, he beat
Yeah.
Leeds, and then beat Liverpool, which is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they are performing. They are performing now, and I think they can escape the relegation zone. I think they can. Yeah, with their performance now and Sean Dyche formations and the status with the boys, I think he has given them like a new kind of hype, and also like they have this kind of passion now to prove to the new coach to perform. Yeah, so I think they are doing good now, and they will kind of escape the relegation zone.
Okay. Doing good and escaping relegation zone. Edward, what do you make of Sean Dyche with Nottingham Forest?
Those said he start with the savior thing. When you're going for relegation, then you just call him. Is it that you are calling him some
Yeah.
guy? And in the old days, it was Sam Allardyce. So for
Big Sam.
Big Sam, for Nottingham Forest, I feel they are doing well. New coach and the players want to impress the coach. Everyone want to start. Everyone want to give their all. It's good. It's good. But I think Liverpool, looking at the game, Liverpool didn't come in prepared. Sorry, didn't come in prepared because how can you create one chance and Nottingham Forest that we had to create two chances and they will score three? It was a very bad performance from Liverpool. And mind you, last season they went there. Nottingham Forest went there and they scored Liverpool 1-0. So I think I'm not surprised, but for Sunday, he's doing well. I mean, he came to Sky Sports when Amorim was messing up and was like, for the United team, we could have played this formation, this, and that. And I think he's doing the talk. I mean, he's putting money where his mouth is. So I feel like, yeah, he's doing well. And Nottingham Forest too, I believe they are going to get out of the relegation zone and they will start causing problems to big teams there. So that's my take.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So we move on to the game of the week, the North London Derby. I don't know if Abdul, you saw the match. Can you give us what you make of the North London Derby? I had always thought Arsenal would always come out winning this game, but yesterday was way too easy for a derby game. What do you make of Arsenal, Spurs, and where does Spurs go from here? It doesn't look very good for them. It looks very bad for Tom Frank and his boys.
Right. In fact, I was very disappointed because it was a match. I was thinking that Spurs are really going to give Arsenal a run for the money, but I was
Were you thinking
disappointed.
Spurs was going to give Arsenal a run for the money, or you want to just be lonely at the top? You just want to.
If you look at the investment Spurs have done in their team, okay? Their performance lately is clearly not acceptable. Having a new stadium, signing talent. In fact, every new season they sign new talent. In fact, and these are not just talent; these are players that have proven, okay. And to not show up in a derby match like this is quite disappointing. But it doesn't take anything away from Arsenal. You know, when they drew against Sunderland, I was thinking that teams are beginning to figure them out. Even after losing their star defender Gabriel, they brought in Hinkapi, and Arsenal clearly didn't miss Gabriel yesterday. And that's quite worrying for me as a Chelsea fan, because it means that one injury is not a threat to Arsenal's title defense, because they have credible subs that can come up and they can come in and show up. And then to touch on their star player, Eze, that delivered a very solid hat-trick. Prior to the game, I was listening to some other radio program, and then they were asking whether Eze has been a hit or a flop this season. And the argument was that although he has not been a hit, but it's certainly not a flop. But that was before the game, and after this game, you can clearly tell that Arsenal have really, really, really signed a very good player this season. And what is surprising is when he was in his previous team, he was striking from the wings. But if you look at how Arteta is using him in the middle, it's quite remarkable. In fact, I didn't know that Eze could do so well in the middle of the pitch. But yeah, thumbs up and a good game by all standards.
Thumbs up to Eze. Edward, what do you make of the North London derby? And where does Spurs go from here?
Okay, yesterday I told Abdul that Thomas Frank came in the game. He came in with a draw mentality. Now, when they started the game, I saw a back five against this Arsenal team. Arsenal, mind you, they don't have any weakness. As this Arsenal team, they don't have any weakness. So if you set back, they will punish you. Trust me. So you came in with a five back, thinking Kudus was going to get a free run at Califiori, but it wasn't so. Anytime they are building from the back, you can see Arsenal will just the Arsenal players will just come forward, stifle them in their own half. Then within 1 or 2 seconds, they will just get the ball from the Tottenham players. So I think it was a weak mentality from the coach in the first place. And the second thing was starting this guy, Odubert, using Odubert to pin this guy, Julian Timber. It takes a high quality player to play with Julian Timber. Odubert is not there. The guy is not there, so at least benching, bringing Brennan Johnson, and also bringing this guy, the Dutch guy, Xavi Simons, to come and stabilize the number 10 position. Because the Zubimendi, the Clarice, and they were running the show, they were actually running the show the whole game. And let me move to Eze, because if I start to talk about the tactics, we are not going to end. Eze, for the number 10 position, he has already cemented his place. Ateta should not try and bring in Odegaard. Odegaard cannot maintain the form or the consistency of Eze. So I think he should maintain Eze. And mind you, they don't have a striker in their team yet. They are playing Merino. So when the Jokeres and Gabriel Jesus and Havertz recover, I think these guys, they are going to beat every team in the league, and they are going to win the. I don't know if they are going to win, but they are going to win the league grand star. Trust me. If they are going to get all these injured players back on time, it will be difficult for us. It will be difficult for every team in the EPL. So for Tottenham, I knew they were going to lose, because you can't go to Emirates with a five back. Arsenal will destroy you. And one unsung hero is Trossard. The guy is really doing well. He's not selfish. He holds the ball well. He can dribble. He has vision and pace. So I feel this Arsenal team here, they don't have any weakness, and they have the men. Even though Gabriel was not there, I felt like Mosquera is a hard guy, and Cape to his experience. So they are not going to have any problem. The only problem that I thought they were going to have is the striking position. But Marino actually did everything. He was actually the decoy. But I think Thomas Frank, after all his bragging, and I could coach Manchester United, I can coach Manchester. Look at what he did at Emirates. So I feel like the
Okay.
Tottenham team, they have to, back up and try
All
and
right.
win.
All right. Bernard, I know you tipped Arsenal to win, but you said because it's a London derby, it was going to be tough.
Yeah.
But it turned out to be as easy as it could be. What do you think was the problem? Where did Spurs get it wrong?
Well, I was shocked with the game because I thought it was a lot North London derby, so at least some 1-0, 2-1. The game will be very tough, but I think Arsenal got a game easy. They possessed the ball so much to the extent where Tottenham had like less chances in the game. Very, very less chances in the game. Also, Kudus also came back, but he's not that well fit and also on form. So I think I really don't blame Tottenham. 'Cause Arsenal on form. That's the problem. Arsenal on form.
Yeah,
And
but
look
now
at Eze.
Arsenal is on form. This is a North London derby, so you were expecting Tottenham to make it a little bit harder for them. But it looks like
Yeah, yeah,
it was as
yeah.
easy as it could be.
Very easy, too easy.
And yeah, I know, but when you look at Tottenham, their form, I think they won against not Everton, right? That was the last time they won a game. So they play draw, they lose, and they lose again. So I knew Arsenal was going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be like this easy because Arsenal dominated them too much. Like it was bad. And also Eze did well with a hat trick. He did well. I've rated that guy since he was in QPR.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Nah,
QPR. Okay.
QPR. Yeah, in the championship with
Yeah, yeah,
Olise.
But talk about Eze. He faced a lot of rejection.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
He
yep,
started from Arsenal. He was rejected, and he went round, and finally he came back to Arsenal. That's how come he actually chose Arsenal over Spurs, because
yep,
Spurs was looking for him, but he chose his boyhood club
yep.
over Spurs. Um, Talking about Arsenal Spurs, we know how Arsenal is good. Another game that is yet to be played is a Monday fixture, and as we are recording now, it's going on. Let's just have a quick touch on it, and then we move on to our next topic. Bernard, let me start with you. United Everton. Very quick, then we just move on because the game is underway.
Well, I think United will win this game 2-0
Why do you
because
think United is gonna win? Because
because
Everton.
I think the players they will surely check the table, right, and know if guys, if we win this game we are going to the top four. We need to like play hard, give all like our best so that we win this game. Because I think this 3 points is very needed. It's very important. So I think the boys have this mindset of going to grab the 3 points to go to the top four because this is the only chance. Because a lot of teams, the big teams, they were all losing. Man City, Liverpool, and now Spurs. Look, they were all losing. It was only Arsenal that won and Chelsea. So I think this is the time, and the boys are like, determined. I think that will be their mindset because they will surely check the table to know that this is our time to perform.
Edward, Everton hasn't won against United in their last 8 games. Any of their games. What do you think will be the outcome? Do you think this is the game Everton will finally get one over United?
I believe this game is going to be tough, but I think I see United coming on top with a 3-1 win. Because as Bernard said, I believe they've checked the table and they know this is the opportunity for them to enter into the top five. So I feel like they are going to turn, but I still believe it's going to be a tough game because in Jai and this guy, Jack Grealish are on form. So I don't know. Let's wait. But I think United are going to win by.
Okay, 3 goes to 1. Abdul, the only Chelsea supporter here,
Right.
David Moyes up against his former club, Manchester United. He's coached United before. So do you think there's a personal vendetta here that he will need to prove a point that yeah, I can still do the job you sacked me from?
Right. In fact, when the Man U um analysts were talking, like Man U would look at the table and then it would energize them, but they are forgetting that Everton is also 3 points behind them. They will also look at the same table and
Exactly.
then like if they're able to grab 3 points. In fact, I think the goal difference is even just like -1.
Mm-hmm.
The goal difference is like yes, 1. So if they're able to win against United, they will be joint top. So for me, I don't think it's going to be an easy fixture for United, especially with David Moyes at the helm of affairs. The path on which he left United was not too great. In fact, this is someone that was projected as Alex Ferguson's successor, and he didn't really part on good terms with United. So it is more of a redemption match for him, and then I'm taking Everton to win by 2 goals to 1.
Okay, 2 goes to 1 Everton. The international break is over. There was international football. A lot of teams qualified for the World Cup, and there was one country that caught our attention. Our brothers, the Nigerians. They
The
failed to
Americans.
qualify
Yes.
for yet again another World Cup. They came off a very good run until they made Congo. Some people are saying that the Super Eagles is Osimhen FC. Without Osimhen, the Nigerian team was very flat. There was no creation. There was no threat. I think the second half, Congo played almost all the game. They were just unlucky to finish the game before extra time. Abdul, what do you make about Nigeria not going to the World Cup for the second time, given how big Nigeria is in world football? I'm talking about economically, because Nigeria comes with their audience, and economically, I think the World Cup will fail it. The FIFA will fail it because Nigeria comes with their audience. You know how big Nigeria is, and whenever Nigeria is involved in something, you know how big the thing is. And this is the
Right.
second World Cup the Super Eagles is failing to qualify to. What are the consequences of that?
In fact, it's a very big blow. I always linking Nigeria at the World Cup like having Brazil. Okay, so it's like Brazil from the African point of view, it's like Brazil missing out of the World Cup, and it's quite disappointing. And the reason as to why this has happened is quite shocking, okay? But sometimes if you have a lot of problems coming together, it sort of makes it difficult for the team to thrive, despite the quality you have at your disposal. Historically, they've had issues with their management and football administration. I think even prior to the match, there were issues of some monies that have not been paid. There was this video of this guy, I forgot, Iwobi, yes, taking a video of the hotel in which they were in. Yes, it was clearly not good. In terms of management, they brought in this former Mali coach that has proven and he delivered. In fact, when he even took over the Nigerian team, you could actually tell that he has improved in terms of performance, and that is why they even ended up at the playoff. In terms of quality, Nigeria has quality to succeed, whether or like, even with a bad coach. Okay, they should be able to like qualify for this World Cup either straight from the group stage or even through the playoff. Against Congo, they didn't show that desire or determination because sometimes, okay, even if the chemistry is not there, at least you should have your top players showing up. And Farouk, you made mention of Osimhen Football Club or Osimhen National Team. I don't see it as Osimhen national team because even the game they played before the final playoff final, okay, Osimhen didn't come in till they went to extra time, and that's clearly not acceptable because you can't have your star player sleeping throughout the 90 minutes and only showing up when you go to extra time. What if you don't get to extra time? So for me, of course, you can pardon him because it's half fit. But yeah, it's still not an excuse because they have enough quality and not qualifying for the World Cup is something totally not unacceptable. And as an African, I'm disappointed that we are missing Nigeria at the World Cup.
Okay, yeah, I'm also disappointed that our brothers Nigerians are not in the World Cup because the World Cup is a continental tournament, yeah. Although they are individual countries, but if you have the likes of the Super Eagles in the World Cup, it gives the African continent another boost. And we know how Nigeria always turn up to the big boys in those tournaments, and it was disappointing not to see them qualify. Edward, I'll have to come to you with this. Nigeria missed again another World Cup qualifier, so this is the second time. My worry with this is, you see, they missed the first one, they are missing the second one, and gradually it becomes a no.
Yeah.
I really feel sorry for the likes of Osimhen because the World Cup without the likes of Osimhen, because I believe
Ademola
Osimhen
Lookman.
is one of the best strikers in the world. Yeah, and the World Cup without the likes of Osimhen, I don't know what kind of World Cup it will be. Osimhen playing for another World Cup will be in 4 years' time, and given his age, I don't know how he will be in his early
30,
30s
32.
as a striker at that age. Yeah. So what do you make of Nigeria missing up in yet again another World Cup? It's worrying. For me, I wasn't happy about it, but I don't know what to say.
Yeah, for Nigeria is a little bit unfortunate for them. And I watched the game against Congo, Dr. Congo. You could clearly see that from the first 10 minutes. I mean, the accelerated at, let's say, 100 meters per hour. And I don't know what happened after taking the lead. And for Osimhen, I think one of their games, Osimhen came out and they brought him another striker. I've forgotten his name, but he delivered and he scored. So I don't think it's Osimhen FC. It has to do more of the coaching and also the off the field issues that Abdul was citing. And I also think some of the midfielders should retire. I mean, they have to leave the football. before their football leaves them, especially this guy, the guy who scored the one goal, indeed. So yeah, and it's sad that we are not going to see Osimhen at the World Cup. He's going to be 32 when we resume for another qualifiers. So it's sad. It's sad, even though we were training banters on X and but I feel like the Nigerians have to go back to the drawing board and also try and inculcate the young. Nigerians have lots of players abroad, so I think they will find their feet and bounce back. But I feel like some of the personnels, they
Okay,
are done. They should hang their boots. They are done. Yeah.
okay. Bernard, I'll come to you with this. Nigeria not making it to the World Cup. What do you make of it? What does it mean to the Nigerian football team? I hear some of the Nigerians calling for the resignation of some of their FA officials. What do you make of all this? We've heard a lot of noise. What do you make of all this?
Well, I think it's quite shocking and sad at the same time because I was thinking at least this time around Nigeria will make it to the World Cup. Because the last time they couldn't qualify, we did. We scored them and we qualified. So now I'm thinking they are playing. I think they should have executed in their group stages, the qualifiers, and they made a mistake. They couldn't qualify, and now they played against Gabon. Exceptional. I don't know why they didn't keep that same energy to play like playing against DR Congo. Which because I think Nigeria has more players who play at a top league than DR Congo. But I think when it comes to the African football, it's different. It's different. So I'm even shocked how they couldn't even win that game. They have everything. One of the top strikers in the world, Osimhen. So how can you just lose this match?
Abdul, let me come to you with this. If we are talking about Nigeria, Nigeria is a big boy in African football and in world football. But the way we are, Bernard, we are talking about Nigeria, don't you think we are looking down upon? If you look at the back four of Congo, they have Wan-Bissaka, they have Mbemba, they have Twanzebe and Maswaku, all EPL proven defenders. So it tells you that there's quality there. So is it that Nigeria, should I say, they downlooked DR Congo, or they didn't just step up? They didn't just come to do the job. DR Congo came with a game plan and they executed it well. So Abdul, are we to blame Nigeria for not qualifying and not praising DR Congo, or you think Nigeria just switch off? They didn't just come to play. Edward, Edward, how can Wan Bissaka be a United
I
legend?
sure.
These Chelsea guys.
Yeah.
Against
So that's all time will allow us now. We want to say a very big thank you to all of you, and then we see you guys next week again. Bye bye.